Cookout season is officially here and no function is complete without potato salad. Today we're keeping it old school with the potato salad recipe my grandma used to make. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. Alright guys, first things first, let's talk potatoes. For potato salad, you can use any potato that you like. I like Yukon Gold, red potatoes, or today we're using russet. Russet's kind of the tried and true. We say we're going old school, so that's what my grandmother used to always use for pretty much any potato application. It was always russet. I didn't kind of start learning about other potatoes until I got a little bit older. But russet's perfect for potato salad. It's good for mashed potatoes. They're pretty versatile, all-purpose potatoes for the most part. And that's what we're going with today. Just going to peel them, and then we're going to boil them in some chicken broth. All right, guys, so with the potatoes, you want to make sure that they're nice and clean. We're going to rinse them under some cold water until the water runs clear. You also want to cut off any dark spots or anything that doesn't look like something you would want to eat. We're going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. That way they cook a little bit faster, and then we'll break them down a little bit more for your actual potato salad. But that's kind of the size that I'm going for right there, about the size of your thumb, roughly. I like my potato salad to be a little bit chunky. You don't want it to be mashed potatoes. You want it to have a little bit of bite to it, but you definitely want to make sure the potatoes are tender. And most importantly, you want to make sure they're flavorful, and that's why we're boiling them in the chicken broth today. You don't have to do it that way. You could just boil it in some salt water if you don't have chicken broth, or if you're trying to keep this vegan or vegetarian, you could just use vegetable stock. All right, so again, for added flavor, we're boiling these potatoes in chicken broth. This is low sodium chicken broth, so to beef up the chicken flavor a little bit more and a little bit more flavor and seasoning, we're gonna add some chicken bouillon powder to the party as well. You use that with some water if you don't have chicken broth. We're using a combination of both today, because potatoes need salt, guys. I understand that, people want to watch their blood pressure and all that good stuff, and I'm not telling you to over salt them, but don't undersalt them either, because then this is going to be sitting at the cookout, and everybody's going to be like, who made the potato salad? You're going to say you, and you'll be embarrassed. Don't tell them you got the recipe from my channel. We're going to go ahead and boil these until they're fork tender, probably about 10, 12 minutes. So today, the veggie prep is super simple. All we have is some shallot and some celery. If you don't have shallots, feel free to use onion. You can use white or red onion. I like the shallots because they're mild, a little bit sweeter, and they just kind of blend in a little bit better in my opinion. The celery is optional. I know I have some folks out there that don't like celery in their potato salad for whatever reason. But if you don't like vegetables, tell your doctor, not me, in the comments. I'm going to dice up the celery. We're going to add that. I've seen people add things like carrots and bell pepper and all that good stuff. Feel free to use whatever vegetables you like in your potato salad. We're going to leave the raisins at home so you guys don't crucify me in the comments. I never have actually ever even seen anybody put raisins in their potato salad. Have you? Like actually in real life?
Tried it?
I haven't.
It might be good.
I've had grapes in my chicken salad, and that's kind of good. Whole Foods used to do that. Grapes and walnuts, fire. But I've never actually seen a human in real life put raisins in their potato salad. So I don't know if that's just a Twitter thing or, Sorry, a little sidebar. So for the perfect boiled egg, in my opinion, 12 minutes gets it done every time. Then we're going straight into the water bath to shock it so the eggs don't overcook. This tends to help them peel a little bit easier too. And we're going to cool them off because we need everything nice and cool, or at least room temperature, before it goes into the mayo-based salad, because we don't want the oil to separate and all that. So right into the water bath with some ice, shock the eggs, give them a few minutes, and we'll crack them, peel them, and chop them up. So now it's time to go ahead and make the dressing portion of the salad. So we have 1 cup of good quality mayo. I'm a big fan of Duke's mayonnaise. Use whatever you like, but Duke's is the best in my opinion. I think it's regional though, so if you don't got it, then sorry to hear that. 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of sour cream. Depending on if you're one of those folks that hate mayo, you can kind of cut it a little bit more with the sour cream if you want to switch it up like that. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. It's going to bring a little bit of acidity to the party. And a little bit more. Measuring with love today like grandma used to do. Then we're going in with 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard and 1 big tablespoon of Dijon mustard. The Dijon mustard is going to also add a little bit of bite, and the yellow is going to give you the color that you're used to seeing. Next up, we're going in with a 1/4 cup of sweet relish. Probably a little bit more than a quarter cup right there, but what the hell, right? A little AP seasoning. This is a blend of salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. We're also going to add a little chicken bouillon powder to kind of play off the flavor profile that we added when we boiled the potatoes. I'm also going to add a little Old Bay because that's how we've been doing it in Virginia since I've been a kid. But, you know, feel free to use whatever you like. I also like to top mine with Old Bay instead of paprika. Speaking of paprika, just a pinch of smoked paprika. Not a whole lot. You don't want it to be super smoky, but it's a nice little flavor profile on the back that tastes nice. And then last but not least, a little sugar. You can add this as needed to kind of cut through some of the acidity that's in here. We're going to give that a mix and then fold in our celery and shallot. Now, my friends, it's time to prep the eggs. The boiled eggs that we have, they're nice and chilled now. We're going to crack these and then chop them up. So I like to roll mine like this, kind of crack the shell a little bit. Have your little something to peel them into and a little leftover water if you need it for a little assistance in getting the shell off. The key is to get up under the membrane in between the shell and the actual white part of the egg. Sometimes it works out in your favor, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. We're on camera right now and it's working out pretty good, so this will probably be the only one I show just to lower the risk of looking like a fool. But perfectly peeled egg, dunk it in the water, make sure that you get all the shell off of there, and then we're to chop them up. So at this point we have our eggs diced up nice and fine. We're going to add that to our dressing here, fold that in and give it another taste test, make sure it's good to go. And then we're going to add in our potatoes, fold all that together, get in the fridge to chill for an hour or two. And then, my friends, you have some good old-fashioned potato salad. One that you can be proud of at the next cookout. Now we're going to go ahead and plate this up, a little Old Bay on top and some diced chive, because why the hell not? This is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is grab my spoon and dig in for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, folks, this right here will make Granny proud. A little chunky, sweet and savory. Got diced eggs. Don't give me them big old chunks of egg in my potato salad. That's the one.
Damn.